Welcome, everybody.
Damn, how the fuck did I do that again? Just all I did was search for Kicking with the Compas. He still found a way to sneak in here. Hi, everybody. My name is Marco. I will be the host here today. I'm not alone, though. In the Kicking with the Compas shirt.
I'm not supposed to be here on these episodes.
I know. It's going to be a weird month. I apologize.
Is everyone just sick?
I have no idea.
I'm over it. I got better.
There was a portion where like 50% of the friend group was sick. Like, is Michaela sick?
We've been good in our household. Stop
sanitizing hands.
Yeah,
and
stop licking doorknobs. All right? Not me.
Look, I didn't lick the doorknob, but maybe the DoorDash guy did, and I touched it. Like, what do you want?
I'm telling them DoorDash people, stay the fuck away from my door. 5 steps back. But I wasn't like just keeping myself at home. I've been on a plane. I went to a con. I did the whole 9. And
that's actually kind of where I wanted to start the show here today. Well, after you introduce yourself, my name is Marco, like I said. In the purple, we got in the Trunks t-shirt, really.
It's TJ. What's up?
And in the Collision Cowboy shirt.
I'm JJ. Thanks, Rakeen. Rakeen seems to like the shirt.
Yeah, you've taken my shirt trophy that is like, oh, you used to have the coolest shirts. Probably because I haven't been to many concerts this year, but yeah, you found a vaporwave type thing that everyone seems to love.
Oh, the Into the AM shirts? Hashtag
Yeah.
Not sponsored. I just buy them whenever they go on clearance because they'll be like $5 sometimes.
Is your chair extra low today?
I think so.
Feels like it.
You're not that short.
Okay, so what
sometimes.
happened was I sat there. I sat there for the Wolverine Deadpool review, and then it's probably just a little...
Speaking of which, what did y'all guys give it? No spoilers.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I've seen it, but I said, what'd you guys give it?
I actually gave it the highest score at an 8.
That's where I'm at.
I think Sam gave it the lowest at 6.5, and then Tommy was in the middle, which means it'll be a 6.5 by the time like a month rolls around.
It's an 8.
You think it's an 8 too? Cool. That
I think
makes
it's
me
like
feel
an 8, 8.5. It's fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I'm curious. Y'all motherfuckers can't like not a goddamn thing. It's like, I hate that I can't ever be on the movie reviews. Because I always miss them. And then y'all come over here and say some outlandish shit.
I don't think anything was that outlandish.
Except you were good this time. What was the one that got me? Was it Everything Everywhere? No, it was it's Across the Spider-Verse. Never doing a Spider-Verse. I'm never letting y'all niggas do a Spider-Verse movie. Actually, I might not let none of y'all niggas do a Spider-Verse movie.
I think I gave it an 8, and only because like it doesn't end. Like if it ended,
I don't believe that. Y'all motherfuckers suck a dick across the board.
I did. I saw the movie, and it didn't end.
It
Left me with blue balls.
That's a cliffhanger. You over-spoiled
I watched those on TV.
No, it's a cliffhanger. It's fine.
Every episode of One Piece to be continued.
It's totally fine because not everything has to have this picky cutter. But nah, y'all motherfuckers suck a flying chode about that. I don't want to get back into that, but I was so mad because like it didn't end. I'm tired of that complaint.
Sounds like we're about to be dragged for having an 8. Look at that. By the way, we're the 3/8. All of us gave it the same score.
Yeah, for Deadpool, yes, we all give it 8s.
Yeah, Rakeen's like, that's too high. We're definitely... I thought the chat... I mean, I didn't open Discord again this weekend, but they were saying that they were giving it 8s and 9s, so...
Mm-hmm. I mean...
I don't think it's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
Far from it, but I enjoyed my entire time through it. It's been a minute since I've gotten genuine, laughs in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I wasn't even planning on watching it. Elijah was like, hey...
How about you a ticket?
We got 15 minutes to get to Alamo.
He's like, I'm watching it, and you coming with me. But no,
on that note, it was kind of sad for him to be like, I want to go to the world famous Alamo you all keep talking about. And I'm like, it's been on hard times, bro.
He dug it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was because I was rushing his ass and was like, bro, you don't understand. They will stop selling you a ticket if you do that.
No, they will not let you go.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. This one was kind of, I feel like people come in ready to hate these movies. And I'm the first person to tell you, I'm not, if you've heard me on the show, my opinions are not Marvel safety nets. No, I do not give free passes. Spider-Verse can shit in my face and it'll still get a 10 because I will fight that battle. Y'all motherfuckers can't end fucking shut up. But Deadpool and Wolverine, it was a good time all the way through, and I feel like it was also one of the ones where it wasn't building into anything, kind of, sort of. It was just kind of doing its own thing.
No, this movie actually doesn't link into anything.
No,
well, plus or minus.
And I'm like,
I think that's where the 6s are coming from.
Well, I feel like a lot of the people that are giving it lower scores, it is based on the fact that
I want to like Red Hulk, damn it.
Yeah, they wanted more
interconnectivity.
Yeah, interconnectivity, and Tommy was kind of right that this was like its own event. This was like Spider-Man: Far From Home. It was not going to actually open a new chapter, but I mean, they really can't because they're not good at that. Maybe now that they got the one person at the helm for the next 2 Avengers movie, but we'll get to there.
I just, with this one, I was like, it went a direction I wasn't expecting it to go. Did I think they'd poke a lot of fun at some things? Yes. I mean, they just, and I'm still trying to be spoiler conscious until next weekend just to give people some space. But it just did some shit that I was like, whoa. There's a legit moment where I was dying laughing because they had a character in there who I was like, you weren't supposed to exist.
It is kind of funny because I did leave at some point because I've had this conversation over and over again with where we were in this weekend. But before we get to there, I did have a controversial idea at some point. That was, if this movie was made by DC or Sony, it probably would have lost a point. Because they do more multiverse type stuff that has meaning. Like, The Flash is bad, but it did tell a multiversal story that has stakes, which Marvel hasn't really done until this movie. Well,
I think they keep on, like, my problem with Marvel is multiversal concept or multiverse is just like, just commit. Just commit. And go all out with it. To kind of half-ass it. Multiverse Madness wasn't even really that much madness. It's still a fine movie because I think Doctor Strange, people don't give it enough credit. I think the streak is consistent. Because they have 3 movies?
Yeah.
3. What's the second one? The second one. It's because
the second one is multiverse.
Oh, okay. Well, then he has 2 movies.
Yeah.
He has 2 8s. 2 very solid, 2 8 7s. Very solid movies. But as a side point, that didn't go all the way in. Loki was about the farthest they got all the way in.
And then they wrote him off, so...
And then they're not committal with it, which makes it feel lackluster. And Deadpool is the first time I was like, y'all are having fun with it, right? Y'all are actually getting fun with it, getting funny with it. And that's the type of stuff people want from the multiverse movies type of thing.
I will say there is a fight in the movie where they go like, hey guys, like literally Deadpool breaks the fourth wall and it's just like, doesn't this kind of suck? Like we've done enough of this multi-universe. And then he just kind of sighs and is like, all right, this is what we're doing now. So,
but it
was a good moment. It really was.
If you're going to do it, like I just like, it's this weird mix of cool, you guys have this cool concept. And I still say it to this day, the biggest clip in Marvel's, the biggest clip in Marvel's, folder was something that was just completely unavoidable. And I think people don't really give that aspect enough credit. I mean, they had a lot on Black Panther. And, with this unfortunate situation that happened with Chadwick, that was like, he was like, leading charge. And then they tried to do it with Marvel. And that just should have listened from the first time. But, so then now they've been fumbling the back of a lot of movies. This is like the first one I was like, hey, this feels like a good blend of Ryan Reynolds' identity and what Marvel typically does.
Yeah.
Had a good time with it. And again, I really wanted to be very clear. I don't give a lot of, I really am hard on Marvel. Not hard to be hard. More so, I'm not going to waste time on bullshit.
They've kind of earned, because when we were getting to Endgame and Infinity War, it's like, damn, they're telling the perfect story after 14 years. I don't completely agree with that, but it was a really good story. Mm-hmm. And then sometime after that, and I do understand why, because at this point, it's a TV series that has lost all the main characters. Like, it's really hard to write a comic book with for lack of a better word, the B-tier characters that they have now. No Cap, no Hulk, no Iron Man, and so they're left with they definitely didn't expect Black Panther to would go the way it did, unfortunately.
And yes, they could have recast. I still agree on that note. semicolon, whatever. That's still just like I am not a. For me, I'm neutral. I said I'm doomed if you do, doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. I still think storytelling wise, it would have been better to recast. But at the end of the day, I think it's cool that they immortalize someone, which is something that like not a lot of people ever get. But in the end of the day, yeah, like I don't know what people were expecting from the Deadpool movie, but I went in and I was
They just expected more, and I'm sorry, guys. Like
more
don't know.
what?
I don't know, bro. You gotta ask Tommy and you gotta ask Sam at some point. But
I'm confused on more. Just more what?
I think they wanted more connectivity. They wanted this is straight up.
People don't see. That's the stupid thing. That's where I have a problem because it's like if it's all connective and doesn't have endings, people don't like that. Then when it's like, okay, cool, we put a little bow on it, and the time traveling person and thing was like, hey, strap up, gonna need more of you. That's kind of like, okay, cool. So he probably can do whatever the fuck he wants after this.
Well, I don't know exactly how the narratively made sense because I actually think it would have been a cheap cop out. But I think Tommy straight up said, I wanted the movie to end with all the X-Men in the MCU.
That's absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantasy booking. That's,
Well, because I don't think people know what they want. That's the problem. I don't think people know what they want. Because they would complain if it ended off in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then they would complain. Then they're complaining that it's just weird. It's weird.
I would complain less if the cliffhanger was after the credits.
I will beat you with this mic. You're not allowed to talk about that movie anymore.
That movie had a natural endpoint, and then it kept going.
And that's okay. No, motherfucker. Before the credits, after the credits, suck a dick. All right?
That's a flaw.
No, it's not a flaw. That's just a narrative storytelling choice that you don't like.
That is flawed.
And you can suck. Well, this one, again, like, I think this just starts to go into, like, differences of opinion.
Yeah.
Storytelling wise, I was like, this was a story. And I thought they were getting touchy with the way that they were going to bring back Wolverine, the way that because people were touchy with Logan. I'm like, I thought they did it great.
I thought it was a great story, and I actually thought this was the best Marvel villain since Endgame, probably.
I wouldn't give it all that.
Well, he was a better villain.
I thought the stuff with the villain in this one was really, really cool. This has been one of the few times, I think people have been super hard on CGI. This is one of the few times, I think with the exception of one thing in there, I was like, I really like what they were doing with the villain. I was like, I would be like, fuck that. Because it's not even like a fucking you up type of thing. It's like oh shit, that's just... And everyone reacts the same way, like, stop it.
It's a little unfair, but yeah. Well, just to move it along a little bit, this was actually going to be our soft intro, is that Austin got to host a pretty cool event this weekend. DreamCon.
Biden?
Actually, also Biden was here. We're not going to mention anything about that. Sorry, Sam. But anyway, no, DreamCon happened this weekend. There were so many awesome costumes. I only got to go on Sunday. Didn't get to make it on Saturday. Elijah was there all 3 days. We actually did film a couple of interviews that we don't know where we're going to post them. Maybe we'll just throw them on Patreon. But you were there as well. What did you experience?
Well, a lot of black people, most black people I've ever seen in Austin. But outside of that, it was a great, with that including, not outside of that, it was a great time. A lot of cosplay, a lot of, the gaming room was actually really big.
Oh, we went to the gaming room at a certain point. I saw the MK finisher.
I bought some merch. It was a good time.
I will say on the note, I've never gone to a con. I wasn't there like
super long though.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, I wasn't there like open to close. I was there like kind of close to open to like 3-ish, 4-ish.
Oh, right as we showed up. Well, I think we were there at 2, but still. This is the first time I've ever gone to a con, and usually when you go there, you feel kind of cooler than everyone there. It's like, look at these fucking dorks. This is the exact opposite, where I'm like, damn, I am not cool enough to be here. Like, I don't know how they let me into this club kind of thing.
Oh, no, I've transitioned to the point where, like, oh, crap, I'm the old man now.
There was a good age range of folks here, so it didn't feel like that, but I'm with you. This is a con that was very, I think people, like, came out ready to show out in a way, right? Like a lot of good, like I said, lot of good cosplay, a lot of good attire. Like, even I went there, like, I was like, oh, damn, I got to kind of clean up a little bit. So I went there well dressed, but it was also just a really good vibe. I think everyone had a really good energy.
But yeah, it was a really good vibe. It was funny. I can maneuver around a group a little bit easier, but I've never been around a place at a con where people are just literally just dancing in the hallways kind of thing, where I'm just kind of like, oh, I guess I just sit here and wait now for things to pass. But it was awesome. There was awesome art. There was a whole bunch of creators. There was a whole bunch of people trying to support each other, which was also really cool, because I didn't want to do interviews because I just kind of thought, like, it's the last day. Everyone's tired, because Saturday is the big party day. They had, like, 3 after parties that day. But still, everyone was nice. Everyone was excited.
And you were involved in one of the after parties, correct?
I didn't go to that after party after all.
Oh.
Yeah, Saturday ended up just being straight up, not a rehab day, but it just ended up busy kind of thing.
Okay.
But no, I highly recommend DreamCon. I didn't even get to see all the cool stuff that happened on Saturday, like Hassan playing basketball at the dodgeball tournament on Friday. Like, there's so many different events and so many people trying to help you the entire time.
I think the other part was, I think everyone's like super willing to engage if you talk to them. Like,
oh, for sure. Friendliest con goers ever.
Like, I don't think I ran into anyone who wasn't like willing to have a bit of a conversation, even though I was exuding loner energy the entire time. I was like, that nigga does not want to be bothered. And I was like, it's like, not really. It's not that. I'm just tired.
It is a lot on a Sunday. That's kind of why I wanted to do it Saturday and then just spend all Sunday in bed. But life has other plans sometimes.
I definitely would. Oh my gosh, I definitely, if I could redo a couple things, well, I would just commit to the 3 days. I just flying and all that shit. Like, I literally just wasn't going to be there Friday. So I was like, oh, I'll go Sunday. The other thing is, I want to go, but I want to go, like, you know, I want to be amongst the regulars. I want to make sure I apply for all the big shit.
Well, Elijah did say that he was going to try his best to
get industry badge, because he said he got the big premium badge that costs like $300, and he's like, I can't do shit with this.
He can go in an hour earlier. That's about it.
Well, I think that was a criticism and critique that a lot of people gave, where it's like the premium badge didn't really feel premium.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, you know, but I think they're like the RDC and the folks who organize and run DreamCon are always willing to take on a lot of great feedback. And so that should be a good time next year.
Well, he did, according to Elijah, I don't know how much he knows, if he knows more than us, but he says we do qualify with our numbers for an industry badge. I was going to try to get a table this year, but the table was due in February. Taxes were due in February, so that...
None of us can draw.
Also, I don't want a table next time. I went to see the tables. I said, we ain't got this.
Well, if one of us learns to draw, besides Tommy...
Yeah.
Tommy just selling a whole bunch of portraits of you, that Kung Fu master that you got.
It's either we can force Tommy. Someone hold him down. Get him drawn.
I don't think we can force Tommy to do anything, but yeah, no, I highly recommend DreamCon, and try to catch us there next year. But on that note, so many things happened. So many things on top of DreamCon. There was San Diego Comic-Con.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, great.
We're ripping the Band-Aid off this one.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm gonna dunk on people's Marvel. I guess today's TJ's Marvel opinion day, because I'm here to dunk on all the. I don't know what people want anymore. I'm confused. I'm kidding.
You know what's funny is that, like, I think about Saturday, I was like, oh, this is going to be a heavy Olympics episode. And then at a certain point, Comic-Con just was like, here's all the news all at once kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the biggest piece of news that came out of it is Marvel has been a little bit of directionless. Some people aren't happy with Kang for reasons that include who he is, or even, for using a wrestling term, Kang's booking, losing to Ant-Man, not a good look right off the...
Losing to Ant-Man's daughter.
I will have opinions on Kang when we get to the whole thing,
So, I'm not exactly sure on all this. Maybe you guys can guide my hips a little bit. But now they announced at Comic-Con that Robert Downey Jr. will be coming back to play Doctor Doom.
Well, shout out to you, Gamer Introvert Power. We see all those shout outs.
Thank you for subscribing for 29 months.
Thank you just for being you.
Bless you.
No,
But I have no idea what this does to the Marvel timeline. I'm not as involved as Sam is to know if we're still getting Armor Wars. If we're because Jordan got randomly excited. He's like, "Oh, bro, we're getting a Thunderbolts movie now," and I'm like, "I thought we were always getting a Thunderbolts movie."
Yeah, I thought that was
years ago, right?
Yeah, I thought that one stayed.
we are. No, I'll start with y'all's opinions before me.
Meh. Meh.
I'm gonna need more than that.
I mean, it's a meh. You can't build upon a meh. It's a meh.
What does man mean?
It means meh.
What does that mean?
Meh.
So I'll go ahead and take it because so the minute that I found out about it, I think I was getting a snow cone on Saturday night, and I saw this image of.
I remember that snow cone.
It was dope.
It had Shadow the Hedgehog on it.
What the fuck were y'all doing?
Bahama Bucks.
Gotcha.
If you went yesterday, you got a sticker too.
But yeah, they did this big intro with a whole bunch of Dooms in the back. One of them took off the mask, ended up being Robert Downey Jr., and he just got announced as Doom. I mean, there's a whole bunch of fantasy booking going on already where people are like, he's going to be a Doom. He's going to be a Stark variant that becomes Doom. I don't know how else you could explain it because there's statues of Tony Stark everywhere, honestly.
The Fantastic Four is in the 60s.
There's still... where does Doom take place, kind of?
Yeah, that's the...
Well, I mean, I imagine that Fantastic Four is 100% the intro to Doom. So, or it's
Is it?
Yeah, 100% has to be. Problem being,
I was like, Fantastic Four has a trailer. They're finishing editing, and they announced this.
well, they said they're beginning production like next Tuesday after the trailer came out. So I imagine that because of this announcement, that's why production had been held off as long as it probably was. So I have problems, but not like, I'm just someone who's like, I like...
Everyone was quiet except for me and you, that you were just kind of like,
Yeah, I was just thinking, because I said, Robert Downey Jr. is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of have this, maybe it's just a me thing, I kind of have this, like, one character to, like, one thing, not to necessarily mean, I mean, there's plenty of instances where actors react into different, I mean, you have, what is it, they literally made a joke about it in Deadpool, right? Yeah. Like, but, with him being who he was, that's kind of where I'm like, hey man, that was like he was the textbook, he was the face. Little weird you'd use that same actor for Doom, because I feel like, yes, Doom has a lot of things covering him up and doing a lot of different things to where it could totally work and you won't even know it's RDJ. But then at that point, why RDJ? Like, there's other actors who are equivalent and who could also, I think, sell it. I think Marvel is kind of going into their safety net bag, but it doesn't even feel like a safety net because they just needed something loud and large to kind of be like, hey, this is happening. Woo, divert your attention from a Kang. But then on the same note...
Believe me, you did not need a lot to divert my attention from Kang.
But then on the same note, that doesn't solve their fundamental problem with A, writing villains, and B, I also still think it would have just been easier. Like, they could have, I think there's a world where Doom and Kang are both relevant in this scenario. Not to say that one can't supersede the other, but I think it's really stupid that they didn't either recast or figure out that situation with Kang, because that just feels like a patterned out thing. And yeah, you know, I'm always fine with you being like scrapping an idea that doesn't work necessarily, but then to go with what they did in the route that they did just felt all weird. I don't have anything against RDJ. Like, I think he'll come out and do a fantastic job. I just think what he stands for in the MCU, to have him then go be like a very iconic character. People have been blowing their load to try and, with the Doom situation. Yeah, just let me allow out of. That's why I said, man means more.
Meh. Nah, it means meh. My thing is that, like, character casting doesn't, like, do anything for me anymore. Because I've been on both sides of it too many times where, like, man, they cast the fucking Twilight Kid as fucking Batman. That's dumb. That movie's gonna suck. And then I watched it 3 times. And it's like, it ultimately, like, if the actor's good, which RDJ is, and the material's good, which we don't know yet, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I'm in the same boat. I don't know why they did that, except for the fact they're leveraging his name.
They just needed an announcement, it feels like.
And I was like, I would have much rather, like...
Their announcement at Comic-Con couldn't be like, well, we canceled another movie, guys.
Which they did. I feel like they did. I don't know if we're ever getting Armor Wars.
But I don't know. I just... There's a lot of ways they could have approached the whole situation. And this doesn't give me, like... this doesn't answer the question of are we getting quality movies with quality writing, except for one, which I actually am looking forward to, especially about a group that I don't give a fuck about. This is interesting because we can't show anything about it, but one of the other parts that this leans into is with Doom comes the Fantastic Four, but
doesn't make sense for the Fantastic Four to, because they've always been intertwined with Doom. They've tried Fantastic Four 2 times recently, and Doom was there. There's no way this guy, I don't know, with time travel and stuff, maybe, but it's...
What do you mean? Doom and Fantastic Four are like this. They're
together.
Yeah.
He's been the first bad guy in both Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
We don't talk about those.
But I'm just saying that with that being the case, I mean, does it make sense? I mean, I guess we did see in the leaked footage, we can say that because it's a trailer that will probably come out next week or some shit. Galactus is in the trailer. You can see him. He looks pretty good. He's on a giant fucking cloud this time. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of weird. I don't know. Doom has always been there. It's weird to have their stories exist, 30 years apart?
Well, I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. Doom.
Yeah, ultimately, we don't know yet.
Or even different universes apart, if this is a Stark variant from another universe.
But I also feel like the delta is, you're assuming, like, Doom Doom time comics, I think they'll figure that part out. Because we don't know yet. Like, Fantastic Four is an old school. We don't know if it's a different universe. We don't know if it's, like, back in the day. Wouldn't make sense if it's like a back in the day thing, but we don't know if it's back in the day. But what we do know is Doom's coming, Fantastic Four's coming, and both of those things they're going to be introduced in the same movie. How they get to Avengers with that? Doom knows, and correct me if I'm wrong, time in Doom, I think that'll be fine. There's a million fucking ways they can explain that.
He's a smart guy. He's a Reed Richards level intellect.
I was about to say, I'm not entirely sure on everything, but I think Doom wins at the end of the Marvel Universe. Like, he saves everyone.
Well, Doom just likes one thing and one thing only. He respects kings, and he likes his country. And he fucks with only his country. That's it.
That is another factor that a lot of people were upset about. I don't personally care, because I see things recast all the time. But everyone was like, damn... Like, the one Romanian character in the Marvel Universe, and we don't get a Romanian actor to play him. I don't even know a Romanian actor off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, I try not to I try and respect people who feel that way, because, hey, I'm not Romanian. That said, I don't know an actor. But I'm certain they could have found him. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, this could have been a role that elevated someone to, like, because... In the same way that Iron Man elevated RDJ, in the same way that, like, Marvel roles elevate whoever's in them for the most part. Not saying that happens all the time, but you usually get a lot of wind on your sails off of that. You also get introduced to really cool actors who maybe you're like, to your point, did I think Twilight Boy was going to be a good Batman? No, Was I surprised with the movie? I was like, so in the same vein, like this is a time for get some new blood because again, RDJ is 60.
Till you're 90.
Now, the other problem that people have, and I think I saw in chat earlier, is I don't know, no one knows what the fuck's going on with the X-Men. And I said, man,
I don't think they're as coming as people they are. I mean, there are some people that got excited because there's now an X-Men versus the Avengers Instagram out there, started by MCU, but I don't know if that really means anything.
Well, Secret Wars leans into that, which they're gonna have to figure out the X-Men in between now and then. But that's plenty of time. I think Marvel's taking their sweet. If I'm being honest, I think Marvel's taking their sweet time with the X-Men. Because X-Men '97 did gangbusters, so trust me, I think they'll be fine. But I think the other problem is, there's been a lot of attempts at the X-Men, and a lot of them suck, really bad.
But some of them have been really great. There's no mid X-Men. There's just great and terrible.
Well, I think there's more terrible than there is great, if I'm being real with you.
Well, the issue is that I looked past the last three
X-Men
because they
1,
came out.
X2, 3 sucked.
X1's probably the most metal. X2's good.
Yeah,
X3's bad.
X3's bad.
The Wolverine is trash.
X-Men Origins Wolverine sucks.
I love the Wolverine.
No, the Wolverine,
The Wolverine,
is fine.
good.
Oh, okay.
Logan, really good.
Logan, really good.
My favorite X-Men movie is not Logan. First Class. First Class is fantastic.
First Class, also good.
I don't like Days of Future Past. People do, but I don't.
I love Days of Future Past. But that being said, after Days of Future Past, I did not give a fuck to watch Apocalypse.
New
Apocalypse is bad.
sucks.
What the fuck is a new mutant? That's a Dark Phoenix, bro. There's X-Men movies no one talks about. There's been 3 in a row. That have been bullshit.
There's X-Men shows no one talks about. Do you remember when they were talking about Legion? Legion winning awards and shit?
Motherfucker, that's what I'm saying. Like, motherfuckers like to act like the. And look, I'm not going to say, because I've been on camera a few years ago saying, I don't give a fuck about these X-Men. That opinion has changed. Somewhat. Thanks to 97, but also I read some of the comics. I was like, hey, you know what? Y'all, these guys, they ain't too bad.
I'm gonna be honest, I have to get fucking like shiesty to show the trailer images. Marvel did a good job of scrubbing the internet.
Don't even show it. Don't even show it. Don't even play around with that. Don't play around with that. We're not trying to get caught.
I know Legion was good. It's just nobody watched it. I mean, I literally had Elijah in my couch this weekend being like, so Suits. And I'm like, finally someone sees Suits.
Well, no, I would argue,
Suits.
again, I still think First Class is the best one. And then I guess you kind of count Deadpool, and Deadpool's all quality. I think 2's the weakest one, but I think Deadpool's
super
fine.
the weakest one.
Two's the weakest one, but the PG-13 one is actually like kind of. I like that one a little more just because of the framing device.
Oh, the Christmas one.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. No one's talking about, like, that's a lot of, like, how many, like, out of all the actors and actresses they've gotten for X-Men related material, there's only been 2 that stood the test of time. One of them had to do it his goddamn self, which is Deadpool, and we count him in the X-Men bucket because it's just Fox. And then Hugh Jackman because they got that casting perfect. No one knows anything with the other guys. So yeah, that should, and it's a lot of X-Men to cast.
And it's funny because a lot of super nerds do get mad because it's like Wolverine is not the most important member of the X-Men. He's just like the goon, the muscle kind of thing.
Also, not originally an X-Men. Just kind of landed there. He was a Hulk villain.
See, Ricardo, I consider Deadpool part of the. I throw it in the X-Men bucket, but only because the motherfuckers are in there.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are in there. They make a joke with the X-Men. I'm like, all right, look, that's part of that realm over there.
He was part of what, New Mutants originally, and then X-Force. But it's the whole X-Men oeuvre. That's why Fox owned him.
But that's the Delta. I'm just like, I'm also timeout. Bro, Sam's Sounds like the best place ever to be at during the summer. Motherfuckers are always screaming, yelling. They got beats and shit out there.
I mean, it's Mexican families and their kids. That's all it really is.
It's very different from my
Our
last
pool?
apartment. Well, no, our pool also is very bougie and far, so we can't hear it. But at my last apartment, there was no gate, like at all. So there was fights.
So I'm like, and I get Sam's emails because I'm on the YouTube thing. So like, and one of them they're like, "Stop bringing class into our angle." And then the second email was in Spanish, and I was like, "Damn, y'all make this targeted, huh?" But taking a step back. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't want Marvel to rush them niggas in. I want them to take their sweet ass time because you only get one. You only get one.
I was about to say, like, I'm literally coming close to I might die before we get like a good X-Men saga.
They need a new generation of actors. It's like, this is a lot of fucking X-Men.
Like, people are like, how come they're not there? How come they're not there? Because you want them to introduce like 3? No! They haven't, no.
They're walking around Netflix studios right now looking at teenagers, like looking at them like bags of meat, like, you're going to age fine. How would you like a 10-year MCU contract?
Yeah, you need like... That's
Looking at those Stranger Things kids.
And that's the other thing. They got to get... Oh, man. They got to get Magneto and...
That weird looking one. He might make a good Cyclops.
Oh, we are...
And Professor X. And I don't even know, like... And, you know, and actually... And then again, I think that Magneto's been done. The casting of X and Professor X and Magneto has actually been one of the strongest suits throughout all of the X-Men.
Well, they took one of them away. Giancarlo Esposito is now...
I never thought that was going to happen, but...
A lot of people thought that one was going to happen.
Man, I'd be fine with it at this point. I just need niggas in the seat and them to pick it. But I don't want it. But I'm also in the camp of like, I don't necessarily need to be rushed because what I want the MCU to do is kind of similar to what they've done to some of their other heroes. There's other cool X-Men. That isn't just Wolverine, and you have to do that in the live action, which is very, very tough. X-Men 97 actually did a great job with being like, I like the other people. Make Cyclops look cool for one episode. And then...
I think that got oversold a lot. People were like, oh, Cyclops is the best character now. And I'm like, why? Because he gets to bang 2 redheads at once? That was about it.
Well, not at once, but...
Well, was he inside one while the other one was in his mind?
Stop. Doesn't even count if it's the same person. Not the point. But seriously, like no. I mean, he got a cool episode. Like his first episode was a great introduction. But they did a good job with like making the other characters relevant and prevalent.
Yeah. I'm surprised Gambit got pushed as hard as he did. Honestly.
I don't want to. I can't say. But
you can spoil X-Men 97.
I can spoil X-Men 97. I mean, well, I'm careful about it, but Gambit is so cool in all forms of medium he's in. Oh, they're not been leveraged at all.
Well, I had a friend that had a pretty funny idea to why we never saw Gambit really in the other X-Men movies, and it's just because he's basically the same character the way that they're writing Wolverine. He's a tough anti-villain that wants to fuck Rogue.
No, it's not the same way they're writing Wolverine, because Wolverine...
Well, the first
the
X-Men
way they were
one.
writing Wolverine in the Fox movies.
1 and 2.
Well, in X1, that wasn't Rogue, but in X2, that was Jean Grey.
Well...
In X3 was Jean Grey.
They've always had a... Wolverine was definitely being a slut the same way that he is in the comics.
Man, it's been a minute since I've seen these things, so I ain't gonna hold you. Whatever, y'all, I'm gonna default that to y'all. Cheap viewers on Shut Up.
I can't ban them.
But that's where I'm like, I don't want them to rush anything. And then there's other, like, I think Marvel's just in a predicament where there's a lot of characters that people want now just because it's been there for a while and they're like, we don't know what to do with them. I know I've not even to talk about the ground level level heroes, which I actually think will kick it in Spider-Man's situation, but...
Well, the villain in Deadpool versus Wolverine, not high level. According to Tommy, very mid in the comics.
Yes.
I didn't know that, and I was just kind of like...
Well, actually, I'm not going to fight Tommy on comics, but I remember not being...
She's not featured a lot, but
Not featured a lot, but I don't remember her being like mid-level.
she is.
Mid-level in the grand spectrum of
They are powerful.
And in the grand spectrum of Magneto, Doctor Doom, Galactus, that's what he means.
In terms of popularity, yeah, definitely C tier. I'll give you that.
Nah, Gambit is more suave. Motherfucker been speaking like Dexter since episode. Well, I don't know about that, but
yeah, Gambit's super suave. Like that's why I'm like, I don't think Wolverine's suave. He's never been suave in any of the movies. That's not his style. The closest thing we've
sorry. It's just one of those things where I had a whole bunch of friends do a let's play of all the Devil May Cries. And when you're just a fan of Devil May Cry, it's like, oh, Dante is the coolest person ever. Like on T-Sherry, like you're just watching it on somebody else play. And then when you actually play it, it's like, Dante is the biggest fucking weeb nerd that I've ever fucking.
He's just a geek to be cool.
And then Gambit's kind of
This
like
party's getting crazy.
Well, I wouldn't
Let's
say
rock.
I wouldn't say like no Gambit like is actually legitimately suave. At least in most of the depictions, he's cool. I won't put him in that camp either. He's actually just one of those cool characters that I don't figure. Like it's weird that they didn't know what to do, but then they were like, "Fuck it, let's just focus on Wolverine."
The comics don't ever know what to do. The comics make Gambit like a wild card and a bad guy randomly after 2 or 3 stories all the fucking
That's
time.
comics.
Yeah.
That's just comics. I mean, I can't tell you about that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Iron Man's been bad at one time. So I'm pretty sure Iron Man's been bad at one time. I mean, Spider-Man.
Civil War.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that, but I mean, they gave Spider-Man a black suit to make him bad. Like, I mean, the motherfuckers just get bad sometimes. All in all, sum up all this. Marvel's got a lot of pieces in their tool chest. And I think
it's too open-ended for me to really have a straight answer. The only thing that hit my head is I was like, this is like Hulk Hogan coming back and being Hollywood Hulk Hogan at this point. Like, it's not bad. Actually, when WCW did it, their ratings went up for fucking months kind of thing. And I do think that it could be interesting. I do think that
they're probably going to play like I would not like the one thing I will probably guarantee is they're not going to bring back RDJ and not address that.
Yeah.
Or at least make it a fascinating way to address it. That said, I think you're kind of at a crossroads.
Here, it's me. Get over it.
I think we're at a crossroads.
I was about to say the last 2 times in the MCU has recast someone. They're just kind of like, oh, I shaved the mustache.
Which I like. But I think we're at a crossroads where like people are like, I want all these characters to have these movies, but then also they're like, Marvel makes too much shit. And then it's like, okay, then you're going to get it at the pace you get it. They've committed to the Fantastic Four Doom route.
Yeah.
We'll see X-Men when we see X-Men. And all of that to say, where the fuck is Blade? No one knows.
I don't actually even know the insider workings to what's making that movie kind of a pain in the ass.
Well, I think they're being super... Well, Kevin Feige, I think, came out and said, he's like, we're being super particular about it.
Is that what it is?
Well, outside of, like, regular, I think, production issues, but...
Because
they're like, we're not going to make it... I think he verbatim said, we're not going to make it if we can't do it right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's dope to know. It just is weird, I guess, in general, that these movies have been going on for probably, like, what, 20, 30 years in a way? I mean, if you count Captain America, it's actually 70, 80 years. But timeline-wise, they've been making the... Yeah. And it's like no one saw one vampire in that entire time.
That's how good he is.
Blade's been doing his job right. But
Also, how many of them take place at night?
All of them at some point, I'm sure.
I mean, they all have a night scene, but like they're all, safe. And like, if I'm a vampire, I'm not fucking with Captain America in World War II.
I also think, because the other thing, there are still some characters floating that, what the fuck's, like, I mean, there's characters that I think that I do like. I'm like waiting on Shang-Chi, his second movie, waiting on that still.
They've been making memes about him being left in the rain kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's a weird one because I don't think anyone, I don't
think anyone hated it.
I don't think anyone hated Shang-Chi. And I said it probably would have been one of my not like one of my favorite Marvel movies if the third act didn't exist, or they didn't go the direction they did in the third act. They just you don't have to use CGI all the time, man. But
And actually, that was them writing a villain pretty well. Like
That villain was dope.
pretty interesting, at least. Like different than like. Yeah, I just want to blow up half of everything.
Marvel need.
I know too much about Robert Downey Jr.'s contract. Somehow that fell in my space, and it's like he's getting a private plane. He's the one that actually got the Russos to come back. They were like, if you want to hire me, they have to come back. And I'm like, that's too much to offer for this to happen. But I was really like laughing on Saturday night when somebody wrote like, because Doom is very big at making Doom clones and then just fucking blowing them up. So it's like Robert Downey Jr. comes out and then the real Doom kills him in 45 minutes. I was like, that'd be dope. But they're not going to do that with the amount of things that they're paying. But not with the amount of money they're paying.
Till you're 90.
To your point, that's probably in recent memory. Excuse, I don't hate Deadpool / Wolverine's villain. Shang-Chi's probably in recent memory my favorite. And a hot minute where I'm like, I like this all the way through. I think also Marvel just gotta stop getting rid of some of their villains. Like they can't. Like I think all of their villains die off. I'm like, stop doing that. Let those motherfuckers live.
The bad guy in Shang-Chi seems awfully important to kill off in one movie.
And he's gone. And I'm like, why? Like he's a big time. They just don't know. I don't think they know. Like that is still one of their biggest problems. Where
I mean,
like, let motherfuckers
you
be
can make
around.
a pretty interesting top 5 about people that were wasted in the MCU just because it's just like Taskmaster comes out, completely different storyline.
Taskmaster was a bad one.
That was a big letdown.
That's a bad one. I don't think they know how to make like reoccurring villains. Like, what the these heroes aren't just sitting on their ass when there's other villains. Not like they still need people to be doing things. You know what I mean?
I think the closest thing we have to a reoccurring villain is Loki, who's kind of had a face change, and
Hydra.
I was about to say the Red Skull is still technically alive-ish somewhere, and they already recast him, so he can come back.
Well, that's because Hugo Weaving doesn't want to come back. Like that was a Hugo Weaving thing. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm done. One and done.
Well,
I don't want to wear that much red paint again.
Well, with multiverse, hopefully they make with a lot of the multiverse shit, all the villains can figure their way back and things go boom.
I mean, Frank Grillo came back, and then they killed him in the second movie.
Who was it? They have
He was Crossbones, but he was in Winter Soldier.
no the one guy from Civil War. I think he survived, right? Zemo.
Oh, Baron Zemo? Yeah.
Yeah, Zemo was around.
He's supposed to lead the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. They just keep more niggas around. That's it. Like it's just because then you have like they just they just need to keep more villains around so they don't. That also helps you not have to build up to a big bad all the time. You can have a nigga fight each other multiple movies, and that's okay, as long as it's compelling.
You can have a redemption arc should something unfortunate happen to one of your leads, and then you can replace them.
The overall really funny thing, I read comics a lot for like 2005 to 2013. But the overall funny thing that I think is going to happen is they're probably just going to do a restart. Like we're restarting all over again. Villains are coming back, and then we just merge with another universe so we can fight Red Skull again, kind of thing.
They're probably gonna reset. I think nah. The only thing I need everyone to suffer like Spider-Man suffered. I mean, them still. All these movies got the shortest end of the stick, except for fucking Iron Man, who got snapped. But like, nah.
Well, they were talking about Spider-Man is probably the anchor being to the MCU now. Because who else is more important than Spider-Man now? The problem is Spider-Man belongs to Sony, so they can't really book him efficiently.
Sony, just let it go. You don't know what you're doing. I will never forget.
What are you talking about? Kraven's coming out. Everyone's excited for Kraven, right?
Kraven, Venom 3.
What the fuck?
You talked about 3 good movies in a row, Venom 3.
Sony has one good thing going. I don't know how they swung to the fucking stars with the Spider-Verse movies. I'm talking damn near perfection. And then these motherfuckers said, all right, now no, keep your animation studio. When they're not working on Emoji Movie, they do a good job. Everything else, keep them away from that.
I'm craving for craving.
It's Morbin time.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
No one did.
it's next to Madam Web. In the shadow.
I forgot that existed.
Netflix keeps trying to trick me into watching.
I'm not watching Madam Web.
It's like, hey, we think you'll like this. I'm like, I think you're lying to me. Now give me more Sonic Prime.
On the note of just everything that happened at Comic-Con this weekend, how do you feel about the Russos coming back?
Oh, right. We're on the directors. Cool.
You got to give me more than meh.
I'm more excited about the Russos coming back than RDJ coming back.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what they did in between.
I'm gonna
The Gray Man on Netflix, which I actually liked, but a lot of people hated for some reason.
I don't mind the Russos coming back. Asterisk. I mean,
I think they
is
also
Disney
did that.
going to control the shit out of them? Because then it doesn't fucking matter.
I think they also did that shitty Tom Holland movie that's on Apple TV, like Cherry something, where he's like a bank robber. Exactly, like it wasn't good. I think that was them, but I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. Dear God, tell me I'm wrong.
They did Extraction 1 and 2.
Oh, I liked Extraction 2 a lot.
The Gray Man.
The Great Man's really good.
I do like Winter Soldier.
Well,
Winter
that's why
Soldier is my
everyone was
favorite
hyped.
one,
Winter
yeah.
Soldier is what got them to do Endgame and Infinity War. Everyone was like, oh. Because before that, I think they just before they got Marvel money, they were just doing music videos for the most part, I believe. See what else? Like, You, Me, and Dupree? Look at that. They got the Gray Man.
Oh, they're doing a Great Man too? Fuck yeah. Man.
I don't know how these motherfuckers got that. I don't know how they got the Marvel check. I ain't gonna hold you. Motherfuckers must have had something on someone to get that Marvel jump up. They went from me, you, and Dupree to the Avengers. That nigga, that's a joke.
Well,
We have dirt on both the Wilsons, Luke and Owen.
you had a Tuesday show. Oh, you are a Tuesday show? What is this reality? So, we couldn't have a show yesterday, and it was just based on just
Availability.
Shouldn't be ever happen again, but if it does.
You'll get 2 shows a week to the best of our ability.
I was about to say, this month is going to be a little bit hectic. I will be honest with you guys, viewers. Sam's going away for almost the entire month. And Sam is the heart and soul of this podcast.
I wouldn't say all that. But
He's the
all right.
heart.
I'm kidding. No, but he's on a lot of the quintessential shows that y'all like, so it makes it tricky.
He also has
He's
to
the
drive
kidney.
the least.
The what?
He also has to drive the least
This
to be
is
on
true.
the show.
That is also true.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Tommy having to drive all the way from Georgetown to come down here.
He can suck it up.
Well,
Yes, of course there will be football. I think that's next week.
the first football podcast is August 13th. It's actually one of the days Sam is here. But we're having a draft for the fantasy.
You're right.
And then we're going to talk about a couple of things that I think would interest Sam, like mostly the NBA TNT deal, how that is going. We'll see, because that's still updating now. As well as just kind of like a
We'll see.
training camp overview.
Yeah, we'll see if by the 13th my team has figured out their shit. Probably not, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, on that note, I guess the worst part is just that you got 3 bell cows and enough money for 1.5, I think.
We have enough money for all 3. We just fucked up. Plain simple. We had enough money for all 3, but we fucked up.
But on the note of sports, this is the closest we'll ever get, because everything about Israel-Palestine is just like, it's a no-win situation. I just think this story is hilarious, because Dana White is at the opposite end of WWE. Dana White cannot create stars just because they keep losing. So, and rankings do what they do. When wrestling, it's like, I want this guy to win. The people like him. Dana White hated this guy. There's a slew of super Muslim fighters, and they come from everywhere. This dude comes from Palestine, And he was just kind of like, I don't want the negative media attention of everybody that's talking about that conflict. I mean, this also will bleed in just slightly into the Olympics when we talk about it. But this is Dana White's face as Bilal Muhammad won the championship last Saturday.
He looks perturbed. He's like, I'm going to get a lot of media, good and bad, from this.
He doesn't want to deal with it in the same way that we've never talked about it on this show.
And we won't.
Yeah, we won't. Honestly, I can't give you an in-depth analysis that basically wouldn't be a book. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I just do think it's funny that this guy's just trying to run a business, and Dana White is kind of a shitty person, and this dude walked out with a Palestinian flag and was just kind of like, this is for my people. That's all he said. He really didn't take a political stance or anything like that, despite everything that is going on. And just Dana White this has been the first time he's been on a podcast talking about like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck to do now. Like, I am fucking pissed.
Well, I mean, that's tricky in the sense.
Why couldn't you be Mexican?
Less news articles at the moment. I think that, like, as a business owner, you're like trying to avoid controversy as best as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
And literally about anything, no matter what your belief system is, you just try your best to be like, hey, you know what? We're trying to steer clear of that. We want to let people form their own opinions.
As someone who had to answer a lot of tickets about a certain situation in Hong Kong when I worked at Blizzard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I can totally see Dana's viewpoint of like, I might not even like hate this guy or completely disagree with him. It's just this can opens a lot of worms. Like,
but I also feel like, again, on the inverse, if your business is one that is involving a considerable amount of different demographics, then you should be better prepared and equipped for situations because you don't know who's going to win.
They literally have like 8 Muslim superstars. And the only thing that he can do is feed this guy to another Muslim. But it's also a little bit of another issue where these guys are all wrestlers. Everybody will tell you, I don't like watching UFC because they just end up on the floor the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
You either understand the situation about how wrestling works, and it's even come to a point where people argue when the ref stands them up. It's like, well, nothing was happening. And it's like, well, no, that's not what's happening. It's just you don't understand ground combat. And this dude was just throwing the champion on his head and shit.
yeah, that'll get you a win.
If anyone did that to me, no, you won.
You're not even coming back out.
I'm staying down. The moment I'm upside down, I'm staying down.
Guys, this motherfucker actually suplexed me. I think we should leave.
Yeah, my neck hurts.
I think this is his house now.
But that's my whole thing. Like, again, like as a business owner, the way that you think about it, you just have to be prepared for all of these sorts of things, especially whenever you like anyone could come from different demographics and backgrounds. So I think you should just like, my personal stance is in a situation like that, commit to like, no one's going to fault you if you commit to freedom of speech based on the fighters. You know what I mean? Fighters have their own expressions, their freedoms and whatnot. And you just are like, hey, I facilitate this conversation, or I facilitate just whatever they want to do. On the inverse, there's many organizations where I support the inverse, where I'm like, hey, keep neutral, add a controversy, and prefer everybody else do that too. Like, I don't think there's a wrong approach to that, except for looking all mean and muggly and being like, I don't know what to do. Be prepared. That's what you have to do.
Well, that's all we're going to say about this. We really can't go more in depth. Maybe in the sports show, he'll probably defend his belt in December. But outside of that, I just thought it was funny that Dana White got pissed.
Speaking of which, a lot of other countries, the Olympics is right now, huh?
I was about to say, before we get into the actual Olympics, there's been a lot of hubbub made where I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't know how to go note for note because I don't care about most of this. But the Olympics opening ceremony, I mean, did you guys hear any news about that?
You mean that they called a country the wrong country? Yeah, that's bad. That's terrible.
It's not what I was mad about.
Well, go ahead.
Most disappointing 3-way I've ever taken part in.
Are you not aware of that? Okay, so I'm not super... I didn't see everything about the ceremony. Here's the part that I thought was the coolest, that you don't normally see metal pushed on the highest thing. The closest has been Metallica did the... Not the Pledge of Allegiance, the Star Spangled Banner for the NHL championship at some point. But it was cool to watch. Gojira is a metal band from France, so they got to do a cool opening out of a castle.
Fuck yeah.
And then on that note, some other guys went viral. Some rats fucking popped out of the hole to just fucking watch what the fuck was going on with this noise.
Oh shit, it's Gojira.
Like, we've been waiting for this.
Like, this is the actual picture that...
Crowd
Also, oh my gosh. That's,
no, it's fine. One of them plays for Gojira by pulling on his hair.
all those fire was activated by the rats.
They were the pyro guys?
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, no, and that was what I thought was the coolest part. At that point, I'd kind of checked out on the Olympics, and then I just started seeing all these memes about people mad about the opening ceremony. I've actually never seen an opening ceremony to the
Olympics are the thing. Like, you check occasionally, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this because it's on."
Yeah.
And then it leaves your mind the next day, and you're like, "What the fuck was I doing?"
Or if you're
yesterday?"
ever at a relative's house that, well, I mean, everyone has no one has cable now, but back then, when they didn't have cable and they just had
Olympics was on.
over-the-air channels,
Yeah.
it was like, well, I guess we're watching the Olympics. Let's.
Well, if somebody even asked us, is like, "Hey, bro, would you mind doing a sports show on the Olympics?" And I was like, I can't do a sports show on the Olympics, in the sense that, like, most of the Olympic athletes are 16, and I have no idea where they come from.
Man, I'm gonna be rude with you.
Well, they tell you the little flag is where they come from.
That's what country they come from, not where in the fucking United States they're from.
I think the Olympics is so tricky because I mean, I'm with you. I'd love to do a sports show on the Olympics. Semicolon. However, there's a shit ton of events. And there's a shit ton of things I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Like I
Luckily,
can't tell you. I can't tell you what a good archer does. I'm just like, they got more points, therefore good archer. I could not be like, her form is
I saw a
immaculate.
tweet that was like, every time I see like gymnastics, I'm like, that's a 10. And then all the judges are like 6, 5.
I'm like,
That's what I was about to say. Like, we can probably talk about archery if we really fucking sat down at one point. We can never talk about gymnastics because I don't know what the name 3 gymnastic moves. I'm not even sure I can name 3 gymnastic events.
The rings are those still one?
Well, that's the other thing. They fucking change all the time. Like, I just found out weightlifting might not be in the 2028 Olympics.
Oh, what the fuck?
Drug testing has gotten way too hard.
Well, we still have world's strongest man.
gymnastics, thighs. That's
The pommel horse, the thing. Yeah, that's what.
Well, rings is
Moves,
one,
not
according
events.
to Ricardo.
Yeah, rings is one. Moves.
rings is not a move.
somersault,
Oh, shut up.
cartwheel, kick up.
High bar?
That's one of the events.
Okay. We're up to 2 as a group.
You know what? But that's actually something that maybe it's worth.
Freestyle. Isn't freestyle?
Maybe it's worth examination. Maybe it's worth examination
Well,
because maybe we should spend the next 4 years picking events.
At that point, I think I might qualify for the Olympics.
Ricardo, we should have 2 categories for weightlifting: clean and juiced.
I think there should be any platform where you're supporting such and such methodology.
Natty and enhanced.
I was about to say, like, almost world's strongest. You cannot look like Ronnie Coleman. Well, he's not even there anymore because of the juice, but yeah. Well, before
For
we
a long time, Dana couldn't book a fight because of
that is also true. What's funny is they get around it now, but just being like, I'm on testosterone replacement therapy, and it's like
floor is freestyle. Yeah,
floor, rings, pole vault, bars. See, I got one of them.
I got one.
But well,
you're also an activity in track.
Actually, I don't think pole vault is a gymnastic event. You're right; it's a track event.
You're lying to us.
And I will also say on that note, like when people were, what's the name of the guy from here in Austin that swims really well? Michael Phelps. When Michael Phelps, there was like, damn, he's the best Olympian ever. And I'm like, he's really good at swimming, but I feel like...
Let's see him shoot this rifle.
Yeah.
Can he run?
I don't feel like winning the 100, 200, and 300 meter breaststroke and winning a gold medal in each is as impressive as just kind of the other Olympians that were just kind of like, I live on a diet of olive oil and grapes, and now I'm going to run a marathon.
Well, they really be doing that too. Shit's kind of crazy. No, I couldn't. Yeah, I don't think there's any like basketball. Yeah, Olympic basketball. We could probably talk about.
That is a subject that will come out because something funny happened on that. Basically, I just zoned in on a couple of funny moments and memes, and we're going to talk about that. But before that, this is the controversial ceremony that everyone was mad about. So the defense that a lot of people are saying is that this is the...
What the fuck is that also, by the way?
It's Dionysus, the god of wine and wine. Wine and things that come after it.
Hades has taught me otherwise. That man's supposed to be beautiful.
Really? Because in Percy Jackson, he's Jason Mantzoukas.
Damn it.
Well, I'm going to see if I can find another image. That's somebody watching TV. But...
And to answer your question, Ricardo, archery for me. I'd be Katniss.
Yeah, okay. No, that's still someone watching TV.
I do shooting.
Well, we are going to talk about shooting because a couple people went viral for shooting. But, yeah, no, So this was the Feast of Dionysus is what the director chose as his Olympic show. But people got mad because that's a whole bunch of drag queens. And... they thought they were making fun of Christianity. They
thought that it was the Last Supper that they were.
Yeah, that they thought it was like the Last Supper that they were making fun of. Like, here's some angry conservative douchebag, but he has a still of the opening ceremony before Dionysus shows up, and then the Last Supper thing. My funny thing about that is that the Last Supper was made like 1,200 years after Jesus. Like.
Yeah, like, it's a weird... For me, it was like, this is a weird, like, sort of hill to die on, because fucking Gilbert Gottfried made fun of the Last Supper.
I also... And, hear me out here. As a practicing Christian, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's real easy to just...
The painting wasn't made by Jesus.
It's easy to not care.
You know what's funny? The one time I watched the opening ceremony, I tuned out because there's too many people that... It was basically everyone walking in from all the... Before they do shit like this.
Well, I mean, I'm like... Because a lot of oftentimes... Like, unless they verbatim said they're making fun of the Last Supper, which also still probably wouldn't care. People are allowed to do whatever the hell they want to. Doesn't mean I have to co-sign with it. Doesn't mean I have to like sit there and get angry about it.
I don't know. It's France. Do they have freedom there?
Yeah, that's
they might have the most freedom. Because,
yeah, actually, they burn shit when they don't like it. But like, I'm also like, hey, you know, at the end of the day,
I don't know. They get real mad
so many
if I don't say croissant.
There's so many different interpretations of how things can like, why would I care? But I can get why there's controversy, but y'all, bigger shit to get angry about than an Olympic ceremony. That's not going to impact me going forward.
Yeah, just ask Dana.
Well, it's just also kind of one of those things where there's theater kids that think that care about that, and then there's us that just don't give a fuck. Like, I'm sorry, like it's just. I would imagine the ceremony to the Olympics is like 2 or 3 hours. I'm not watching all 3 hours of it, nor do I care about making fun of religion. Like, I've seen the movie Dogma. I've seen
there's plenty of things that make fun of religion way more verbose.
Yeah.
And in your face. And then again, still,
And not in France.
there's other things to, like, I don't know. I don't try and take everything as a personal attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, also, did they think the blue guy was Jesus?
I think they thought he was some sort of demon is probably the best way. I actually have not seen a conservative video all the way through to understand.
They thought Papa Smurf was Jesus. That says more about them than
does no one know, like, about, especially about, like, some, like, in the moment you get to Europe, the moment you get to France and all other, like, there's goes into a variety of different aspects of theology that can then again be interpreted by a variety of different ways.
Yeah, I didn't see the Greeks getting mad about them making fun of Dionysus.
Man, people get
Well, that was the other thing that I thought was kind of funny because people were like, "Oh man, like, what is gay culture doing at the Olympics?" And I'm like, "Do you know anything about the Greeks, bro?"
people just say shit to say shit.
You look like the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah, like, why get your cortisol levels up over something that really ain't gonna impact you that much? Also, there's just other shit to do. Other shit that I'd rather get angry about.
Well,
Yeah,
I
like the
thought-
fact that America is 7th place right now in terms of medals. The fuck?
they're 7th place in terms of medals right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
China's got number 1. Well, in terms
China's-
of golds.
China's doing really good. But I will say, just to go back to why waste time getting mad, I've heard a bad and a good point over this opening ceremony. One of them, the bad point was like Pat McAfee on his thing. And I just feel like some point you just have to say something to say something. And he was like, "We're here to honor the athletes. Why are we wasting time with the ceremony?" I'm like, there's been an opening ceremony for every Olympic event.
And sometimes, like, I liked China's uniform one. That was cool. Caused a lot of controversy. Made a South Park episode, but I liked it.
The only conservative I think that made a good point was Joe Rogan just being like, "I don't fuck with the Olympics and it has nothing to do with that ceremony. It's just because the athletes don't get paid enough for all the ad
Yes!
revenue."
Yeah,
Yes!
100%.
Yes! Some of them got, like, some countries get it dope. Play for Singapore. Some countries, I think it was Kazakhstan, they get apartments.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a 3-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, or a 1-bedroom. I'm like,
Studio.
I'm like,
But in nice neighborhood.
very nice. No, I'm
5 minutes from downtown.
pretty sure, like, as an Olympic athlete, you get like $37,000 if you win gold in the U.S. Which, if I'm winning gold, I better not have to work again. I mean, of course, you know, sponsorships, deals, all that kind of shit. But no,
Well, I mean, who besides Michael Phelps? Well, Simone Biles is up there, but
someone else gets some cash.
but outside of those two, like, I don't think any of the
They are not. Olympic athletes need to get paid and respected just way more across the board.
But someone brought up Olympic basketball, and I thought it was funny that of all the signs that someone could host, it was at the it was a Japanese fan, and he was making fun of the United States women's basketball team. He was just holding up a sign that said, "You need Caitlin Clark to beat us."
Is he wrong though?
I feel like America has basketball down pretty well.
Oh no. Sudan was trying in the prelims or in the exposition. What is it?
Exhibition.
I think that was
Exhibition.
I think that was in FIBA, but still, like, yeah, the United States almost lost to South Sudan on my birthday. I thought that was satisfying.
Yeah, I was like, well, we're trying.
So there's a South Korean shooter. Her name is Kim Yeji, and she became a bit of a meme just because she looks like Gojo. Wait, what the fuck? Why didn't it load? There we go.
Oh, she's doing the JoJo pose.
Hey, yo, why she got some?
Star Platinum.
Yeah, that's a swag shot. Hey, yo, let me be a shooter though. They gotta make it look that way.
By the way, the United States placed last in shooting.
How? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely making that team. Really? I feel like you could just go to North Carolina and find someone.
Shooting. No, I don't want to go to a shooting academy. Shooting Olympics. Yeah, they placed last, and there's just been a whole bunch of jokes that were just kind of like, if it was a Walmart, they would have won.
No comment.
Whoa. What kind of guns were they shooting? They weren't AR-15 style rifles.
No.
Well, I mean, the last guy we saw fire one of those also missed. So.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now, because I was in Toronto last week, and just go outside of the country. America's a fucking joke. Shit's hilarious.
I did not know that for the Olympics and shooting, they wear all these cool glasses and shit to fucking...
They got them 90s glasses.
On that note, one of my favorite... Because I didn't even know there was a difference between pistol and rifle in the Olympics. The one time I watched the Winter Olympics, I saw dudes skiing and then shooting a rifle and then skiing to the next target. But there was a guy from Turkey. He was also up there for like coolest shooting pose. He wore none of that face shit. He just showed up in glasses and won a silver medal.
Bro, how do I get into this? Bro, I'm trying to pose like brothers out here like, they hit that beat. Look at him. Look at him. Hand in your pocket. Swagged up. Bro, he's like, I do this on my free time. Ga. It's just dope.
Dude wasn't even part of the Turkish team. He was just kind of
Literally said, give me that shirt.
My country needs me.
He was in the stands.
Fucking shot for the Ottoman Empire 300 years ago or some shit. And this is another famous picture that has been making the waves. Literally, it's about a surfer. And I just thought it was cool. I have no idea about surfing or what he plays. I think he got silver, actually. And it's just this dude throwing a thumbs up. He's acknowledging the tribal chief at the end of his run.
That's dope, too.
I have no... Surfing is another one where I'm just kind of like, how do you compare?
I don't know. If I'm balancing on a board in the middle of water, I'm getting whatever medal. Just from fucking doing a balancing in the middle of water on a board.
But it's also kind of one of those things where, like, the waves that I catch at 10 are not going to be the same waves that you catch at 11.
That's true. How did we get here?
It's not fair. He got points for going totally tubular, but none of my waves were that tasty.
Man, I've said on, like, if there's any sport I would like, I can barely do water. If you want me to be on a surfboard, man, I don't think I'd ever do it. I'm sorry. That's the fastest way to send me to the shadow realm. I'm not coming back.
I've never understood the idea of surfing where it's like you get a board, you put wax on it, and then you throw it on the water and stand on it.
Well, see, the wax, it's like oil, so it repels water. So it's like two opposing magnets.
But you're still trying to stand on wax.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I've always wanted to try surfing, but yeah, like, I don't know. I have no idea how
you go
it
do that by
works.
yourself.
I will.
Jordan tried surfing.
I've done bodyboarding and like the little wake thing, the wakeboards or whatever, where it's just on the shoreline. Mm-hmm. I've done both of those. Mm-hmm. They're fun, but I've never actually like stood on the board. That's
No, JJ, what I meant was like go do that by yourself. I'm gonna go do that by yourself. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear it in the chats. I'm gonna be like, I don't want to have that anxiety on me and be like, JJ's in that water.
I'm more likely to do surfing than I am to do the like artificial surfing because I've seen some people get fucked up on artificial.
I did that shit at Schlitterbahn. I waited in line for like the line wasn't outrageous, but it was still like, God damn, I could be doing something else right now. It was like 30 minutes. Maybe.
Oh man!
And it was only because the dude in front of me was really good at surfing. Like, he lives in a place with water. My ass goes up, like, and I'm in and out in 2 minutes. Like,
oh god!
In 2 seconds flat, it's just, well, you're done. Ah, that sucked.
See, I said the extremest of sports I do is trying snowboarding.
Snowboarding, I've also always wanted to try.
I don't know what we're gonna do this year now that flying to Japan is only $1,000.
Well, I mean, Japan just said, man, I should go twice. Yeah. That's all Japan told me. Is that, bro, I just looked at the tickets I normally get. Them motherfuckers like, yeah, dog, you can swing that. You can swing that for the show 3 times.
Yeah, bro, this would be me on the surf simulator. Just fucking eating it over and over again. He doesn't even want to stand.
Oh no, the guy that was in front of me was doing like tricks and shit. He was like catching the water with his hand like just right so that he does donuts in the fucking water. Meanwhile, I was just like, there's a wall, I'm out.
No, fuck that. And in Serenity, from here it's usually 14 to 15.
What?
Flying to Japan.
Oh yeah, no, it's like $9.98 right now apparently.
Fuck, I double checked. Check that shit for facts. It's Carfax. They're not lying. That shit is kosher.
Well, the last thing that I saw go viral in the Olympics is a sport that's close to my heart and close to your heart, and it's rugby.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of lifting people up.
Was it the girl?
Yeah. I've never seen someone do a fucking complete spin-a-rooney.
These women's rugby players are going nuts.
I don't even know what you're supposed to do because you can't high tackle in rugby. It's just kind of like you just let that happen at that point.
It's man, at that point I'd be like, just throw me. I'll catch. Like the end.
Yeah, literally.
Like the end of of Invincibles. Just throw me.
Just
Incredible.
Spinning.
Just throw me. The last run.
So, apparently the U.S. women's rugby team was a fucking buzzsaw this year. They got bronze because they ran into New Zealand in the semifinal.
Of course. Got their ass beat.
That makes sense.
But before then, they were just fucking bullying everyone. This lady,
bro, this chick was on a mission.
There's some clip where she's like stiff arming like a Japanese player, I think. And it's just kind of like, yeah, you're not. You can't sign her for the NFL.
We have corn and potatoes in America. Not just rice.
Women's rugby was always kind of a different breed, I'm going to be honest with you. But her name is Alana Meyer. And, I mean, I had people that don't give a fuck about rugby just be like, how do you tackle this woman?
You don't. That's the fun part. You don't. Nah, women's rugby,
Lots of cornbread on that team.
women's rugby is very vicious. Talking. Because Roman rugby is very vicious. Women's rugby, they don't care. They don't care wholeheartedly. Watch that shit back in college, you'd be like, the fuck? Y'all don't care in the best way possible because you watch it, it's like barbarian shit. Did you not see her just stiff arm? That felt from that. That shit was wild. That shit was wild.
It was pretty awesome to watch. It was sad because I was just getting into it, but the brackets are so small. Like it really was. All right, you get hyped on Saturday. It's done on Tuesday, bro.
But as an Olympian, that's what I want. I want to be home.
Fuck that. I don't want to
Ricardo,
be in France that long.
That voice is only for football. Okay, gotta save it.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know this isn't what you wanted to hear, but we got only one football episode this month, but we got 2 coming up as soon as they're already on the docket. And then we'll take our normal Thursday off, and I believe we're watching Chiefs Ravens that Thursday.
Ooh.
But yeah, let me see if there's any other Olympic thing that went viral that was pretty funny. You need Caitlyn Jenner, surf guy, rugby, Irish lady, opening ceremony. No, that's pretty much it. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. So I know most of you guys are sexually active because you asked us to do this excellence, and you asked us for a whole bunch of sexual advice, and we have some sexual advice here for you. We are sponsored here with Joy Mode, and if you use coupon code MEX20, you can get 20% off, free shipping. And then I just want to explain it to you because I did use it. Not sexual, but I did use it in the sense that it felt like I was popping a vigor in Dark Souls. It literally invigorated my entire body and just got me ready for everything that I had to do.
Filled with awesome vitamins, minerals, good stuff to get you going. And honestly, anyone who's partaken in it from our fans and from your own usage, it's been incredibly positive.
Now look, I've experienced vigor and I've experienced vitality, but never both together. But with Joy Mode,
no, but seriously,
they literally create a sexual performance booster that has increased blood flow, increases your sexual wellness, and your erection quality. I actually had a really awkward problem where I was just like, damn, I don't know what to do with this as I'm playing NCAA. As I'm looking at nothing but sweaty men tackle each other, I was rock hard thanks to Joy Mode.
But overall, they also have a variety of different ways that you can purchase the product. You can either just buy it straight up. You could subscribe to get regular drops of the variety of different Joy Mode items. And they don't just have sexual performance things. They also have regular vitamins and minerals too. A lot of high quality wellness supplements that you can take.
They have a sexual performance booster, testosterone support complex, and a sleep support complex.
And the more
honestly,
you buy,
might give that an order myself soon.
Yeah.
The more you buy, you can bundle it, and you're gonna get a better deal. In particular, I'm with you. Their sleep complex sounds right up my alley because I could definitely use some high quality sleep.
Yeah, definitely. But now that I have to wake up at 6 a.m. But hey, guys, just remember code MEX20. You'll have better sex. And I mean, even if you don't need it, just take it as a T booster, and then go to the gym and hit your PR today.
And overall, don't forget they've been incredible partners. And so thank you to Joy Mode for their support, and thank you guys for supporting us via Joy Mode. Again, MEX20 at joymode.com. It's 20% off and free shipping.
We'll be right back with our show. Hey guys. Our last story here today, I actually don't know too much about it. I'm going to go into this clip blind, but it was requested by Goliath. Goliath has been having a little bit of a hard time, and he just asked us to talk about this story that he felt was very heartwarming. So we're going to watch this TikTok. If we get copyrighted for any moment, we already got 2 ads. We can roll it up. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect. And let's go ahead and watch.
Making bracelets. You make bracelets? What's something you're struggling with right now? Really? What stage?
Stage 4.
Wow. I would love to see these bracelets you're making. Could we make one together? Alright, I'm hopping out. I would like to buy a bracelet that says dream.
Do you want any hearts?
Absolutely. You gotta have a heart.
They look so cool.
Are you eating the pencil?
Yes.
You're whipping your butt. What would you name your bracelet company?
Full circle.
That's a good name. What if we build a website We make a logo, and then tomorrow we launch a website with your bracelets.
I love that.
You gonna
Daddy,
be
you know what
busy.
that means? We gotta go get some more beans.
Oh, they made a logo for her and everything.
How many bracelets do you think you're gonna sell today? Well, I want to show you something, so I'm gonna hop out, okay? This is your website. We got a logo.
I love the logo.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, look, more people are coming. It's going up. Oh, look, 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 look. It's almost 600. You just hit $1,000. $2,000.
She's like, fuck, I gotta make all these bracelets now.
It's almost 7,000.
Even they're like, whoa.
Hang on. Can't buy that many beads.
Everyone go to grocery store and that color mama bracelets.
What you over there make?
That's dope, man. That's real cool. I am a man who likes his bracelets.
I'm not good with things like this, not in the sense of I don't like them, more so you have hit me in all of my synapses.
Right.
Oh man, that girl was so sweet and so cute, and I'm so hopeful that she continues to get more bracelet sales to support her. But that energy and that happiness is something that I think, especially with how cynical adults get, you forget how like simple things, just like making bracelets, can make such a big difference for one.
The website still exists right now.
Oh,
I don't know when this came out. Goliath was just kind of like, I'm in a little bit of a hard place, and I just would really like you guys to talk
can we
about.
buy one that says "Mexcellence"?
Don't think you can have a personalized bracelet.
Oh, they just say, "Oh, okay."
Cure for Kerrigan.
So I have to actually go to Brie. I have to go straight to the source.
I would guess based on how it looked that's somewhere in the south, and it'd be very hot.
I don't do crying, but not to say I'm not I'm really like someone who struggles with it. I just don't. But that's one of those things that would get me. So I'm glad that it was as short as it was.
It's not very often you see a short video where the kid said they had fucking stage 4 and they were optimistic the entire fucking time,
right,
and then it just kind of.
Again, we're surrounded. It's unfortunate how it is. We're surrounded by so much negativity constantly that like these little wins, these little stories. Shout out to you, Goliath. I don't even like. I'm surprised you found it, but it's awesome that you did, because it's the type of things that make our day.
Well, try to end it on a high note. And I mean, this isn't actually a downer note. It was actually a very sweet story. You don't really get a lot of wins like this. I actually had a kind of a dark thought at one point where I had a friend that she went through a cancer kind of thing. And then she started like a GoFundMe page. And I was like, I know people love me. I don't think they $40,000 love me kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have the right like network or the right amount of reach, those can kind of hurt, because I know when my cousin died, his sister started a GoFundMe to help pay with his funeral expenses, and I did what I could, but this was way before I had any sort of influence, like even before the limited, Mexcellence influence we have now. So it didn't really get a lot of attention, and it's fine. I wasn't expecting it to go gangbusters, but it's still kind of one of those like, damn, I wish I could have done more. But
And that's why I like kind of the creative approach that they took, where it's like something small to kind of be like, hey, I can make this, produce this, and then they not necessarily feels transactional, but people are supporting, and everybody likes to be like, hey, you know what? I have something to remind myself that I supported. it's just nice to hear wins from this because, to your point, in the swell of things that, and let's not get it twisted, people donate their money to really not as great things. She made $10K in,
One
short
day, yeah.
thing there one day, and that's just incredible. Also, shout out to the people who helps to that out just as much, because I like to get that going. That means you had good marketing, good other peripherals around that, good logo design as well.
I guess in a little bit of a heartfelt note, just because we have a couple of viewers here today, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. We started this podcast. Well, Sam started this podcast a decade ago. We started this podcast almost in the heart of COVID, and
we were in a closet. Not kidding. We were in a room.
And
Shout out Don. I need to send him like a fruit basket or something.
And it was kind of depressing at times, kind of not because we didn't have each other. Actually, having each other and having you as an audience helped us a lot. But it helped a lot that you guys started supporting us, kind of deal. And thank you guys for coming out. Stick with us during this month. After that, it's going to be a little bit easier as football takes over. But, I mean, this month's going to be
I get days off, then.
Fuck you. Tell sabbatical.
You're not on 2 shows a week every week.
No.
I sometimes am.
Because you get half a year off. Shut up. You traded in. You stack your stuff. Yeah, you busy during summer to have fall and winter off.
Well, thank you guys. We really couldn't do this without you. We're going to jump on board this Patreon content this weekend, and we're going to give you as many shows as we can.
We owe y'all a lot. Y'all fucking support us too much.
Which, by the way, if I could ask for one small favor, please stop asking us to read. We're terrible at that.
We all have selective dyslexia disorder, and it kicks in right as soon as you pick something for us to read.
I don't mind reading, but for reading specific content, you might just have to get story time with TJ. Or like I'm in like a fucking robe and I'm reading, like, giving my own opinions over that, because getting a lot of us to read is quite tricky. But I usually read.
Or it might be a situation where like just share the link with all of us individually.
Yes.
Because I probably would have read these things already.
Yeah, also, yes, shoot it in my DMs, and I'll probably, yeah. But no, thank y'all so much.
Side note, just real quick, because it ended up being here. Sorry, Rakeem, for you losing someone this year. It's actually been a tough year on that front for almost all of us. Though everyone has lost someone really close this year. But hey, maybe the second year will be better. Maybe the Colts will win 10 games in a row.
Maybe other horse team will win.
Broncos? There actually is another horse team. Did you know that?
Yeah. I knew what I said.
What's an animal that should have a logo in the NFL that does not?
So actually, the minor leagues and the European Football League is way cooler with their logos for the most part. We got picked up for a little bit because we had Emiliano talking about the black cocks from Mexico.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's no axolotls in the Mexican league.
That's true.
That's a Mexican animal.
Dragons should
only
be
find it there.
in the U.S. league.
That was actually one of the coolest logos I saw in the European Football League. They had a dragon. Other than that, it is kind of funny playing college football, and I'm like, you guys love tigers way too much. You need to quit that.
I'm trying to think, like, what's an American animal that doesn't get any rep?
Possums.
I mean...
Well, you know what's funny
okay.
is like an hour away in New Braunfels, the only high school in the entire country, their mascot is a unicorn. The New Braunfels Unicorns.
Oh, yeah.
And they built a second high school for the first time ever. And now it's the Unicorns versus the Dragons.
Dope.
I actually like that theming. Go mythical.
From fucking New Braunfels, of all fucking places.
I'm fine with, like, anything except teams like the 49ers, where I'm like, that's just a lame name.
There's a lot of 49ers is also what I learned. The Charlotte 49ers, I played them in NCAA. Other than that, I do kind of wish we had more people logos that weren't racial. Like I do like the idea of an Aggie that is just kind of like we don't know what it is. It just can be whatever.
The Oilers. It's just a guy.
No.
It's just Daniel Day-Lewis in that one movie where
The
he takes your
Patriot is the
milkshake.
Patriots.
Yeah, the Navy have the midshipmen. Like, there's a couple of them that could be like pretty cool to have.
It's like America's
The
like,
polecat.
Well, I mean, the
It's that guy
Cowboys
that-
is one.
we have turtles.
You know,
Oh, I would fucking buy a Kawamas t-shirt.
I know this one is kind of like, well, sharks also very underrepresented as a mascot, and I know this one like might eventually get canceled if it existed in 40 years. I miss Banditos, like bandits and banditos.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think Cowboys would never do it, but like, you know, the Cowboys and Rangers, right?
Yeah.
It's like a or
In
like
Toronto, we have raccoons.
but like but like the Houston Texans, Banditos is a way better. Like what's like the Texans is a lame
That was the worst choice.
Yeah.
like
You know what's worse is that our high school-
Banditos, and now you've got Mexico. Marketing.
It's even worse that our high schools actually sold the Texans logo to be the Mavericks. I
The
think.
Mavericks, yeah. The CC1 Mavericks.
I can show you a picture of it real quick, the logo, and you're just going to be like, damn.
It's just the Texans logo with like CWC in the eyeball. Or where the eyeball would be.
Oh God. Did they try?
Not really, no. Well, guys,
I wanted us to be the Oilers.
thank you all for coming out. I'm going to try to put a schedule out this weekend for what our entire month hopes to be. But we're going to do a wrestling thing of cards subject to change.
we schedule is tentative. A lot of things and moving pieces, but we're going to do our best to get you as much content as we can.
It's hard to replace one Sam. It really is. But thank you guys for coming out. Have a wonderful day.